times I think small businesses can get out in front of medium and even large companies in this space, establish a leadership position, and when those companies finally come back and look at it, they're going to say, oh crap, we should have been here months ago, if not years ago. So I think small businesses can really get out there now, make an impact, and become a large business eventually, which is always the goal.
One of the biggest challenges for businesses in terms of online marketing is having a strategy. A lot of them come into it tactically. When small businesses contact us, often they say, well, we need SEO, or we need an optimized press release. We want to find out about social media. And the question is why? Why do you think you need SEO? Why do you think you need higher rankings? Isn't it sales that makes the world go around for you? Well, we can get sales in an appropriate way according to what your market and what your audience is going to respond to. So I think one of the biggest challenges is small businesses not taking the time to understand who their market is and then actually creating a strategy and then deciding on the mix of tactics.
But the first thing to do would be to say, what do I want to get out of this? And how can I very, very quickly achieve that? And most people want to increase traffic, increase sales, and increase customers, how much they like them, the relationship. So I would probably go through and say, well, a great way to increase traffic would be to make sure I was found easily. And a great way to increase my sales would be to make sure that my user experience was just jam up, that when somebody comes in, there's no barriers to signing up or to buying something. I mean, user experience is it's kind of like the holy grail as far as I'm concerned.
Start to look at other brands and companies in your industry that are doing something that you really like. Because none of us like that moment where we're looking at a blank page. It's a very tough situation, and especially if you're starting a new business, to stare at that blank page and try and decide what to do, especially what to do online. If you're not necessarily an online professional, is a very difficult thing, and so you need some point of reference. So the first thing is, look at what other companies are doing online that are either in your industry or out of your industry, and try to start to analyze what you like about them, what you don't like about them, what you think works, what you think doesn't work. The other thing is, and I think this relates well to the sort of solutions that you have, which is find the right providers to be able to put your materials online. And so it's not just about buying a domain name, it's about actually finding a reliable place to host your services, to put your website online, to promote your website. We all know there's a ton of free tools to do that, and it's very tempting for a small business to say, oh, well, why should I pay for this if it's free? But if you think about it, none of the free tools give you anything like a service guarantee. Some of them go down quite frequently. And if this website is going to be a critical part of your business, then you really need to make sure that, for a minimal amount of money, we're not talking about, hundreds of thousands of dollars or anything, you have some reliability and your website is actually up when you want it to be.
The thing that companies should always do is take a look at the objectives and what are they trying to achieve within that space before they go online and just start, wandering around social media. I think once you set an objective, it gives you a much clearer idea of what kind of audience that you want to attract and engage in, and you can find those people. Once you determine, what audience or what publics do you want those people, that you want to reach and engage and develop those relationships with.
I think too many people don't have a plan. They just jump into it, thinking it's all going to work itself out. So they get into stuff like AdSense because they can get visibility immediately, right? Which is great. And you should be using that stuff. But people who are not familiar with the intricacies of ad networks and campaigns are going to be overbidding and under-optimizing their pages, so their AdWords quality scores are going to be really bad. So it's little details like that people need to be aware of and learning about consistently in order to be more effective retailers online. So I would start with learning and making a plan.
Yeah, I think small businesses can learn a lot from those who've gone before and fast track some of what they're doing, because obviously there's been some big mistakes made over the years and people not disclosing things, but I think there's a lot that can be learned, and particularly just modeling yourself on some of the more successful ones.
Well, I think for a small business, really, instead of taking what you're reading about on blogs, about social media campaigns that other people are doing, just to really base it around your customers. So how do your customers want to hear from you? If they want to hear from you from Twitter,
it's being clear to your goals. What are you trying to accomplish? And measurement. I'm actually doing a session here at Blog World tomorrow on ROI and analytics around online for small business. And the whole idea is, if you don't have clear measurements, if you really don't know what what metrics of success you're looking for, you're not going to get them, obviously. So, a lot of people talk about blogging for engagement or this joining a community or branding and this touchy-feely stuff. Small businesses can't afford that. They need to start ringing the cash register no matter what your business is quickly.
Right, okay, what are some relevant publications where we can get editorial using that phrase associated with us? Press releases, blog posts, syndicated content, conferences that have sessions using that phrase. And so now we have the first mover advantage on this new concept, and it's starting to gain momentum. I think a business that's creating a brand new strategy online would maybe think about doing the same sort of thing, totally dominating a particular market by either coming up with something new or employing those tactics for something that hasn't quite been taken advantage of yet.
Do the basics first. Get a website, get a basic 6, 8, 10 page website, have the About Us section, the company section. Make sure you have a sitemap on the site that the search engines can follow and properly index and read all the pages on the website. Absolutely. And then you want to probably look at a couple more innovative things. A video on a website is fantastic. A short video of the CEO explaining the company. Make sure people can figure out in the first 4 seconds exactly what that website's all about. Who you are, what it is, and where they can do those things on the website. We're very impatient with websites.